The nature of education involves the passing down of knowledge to a younger generation, allowing them to develop their minds both academically and socially. Teaching is a practice that is flexible and shifts alongside social change, allowing educators to maintain a role of leadership for their students. Therefore, my image of teaching involves creating a mutual respect between the educators and the students to foster a comfortable and practical learning environment. Through a personal reflection, my emerging teaching philosophy seeks to uphold these values in accordance with the multiple dimensions of education. The process of teaching has remained a core part of my character throughout life, where the history of education informs my understanding of academia. My own education at George River College, Oatley campus, allowed me to graduate in 2022 with a passion for teaching. This desire to spread knowledge throughout education is what drew me to this course, a Bachelor of Secondary Education and a Bachelor of Exercise Science. In this selection, I aim to replicate the attitudes of my own PE teachers in order to help kids academically and physically. The most vital experience to support my passion stems from my early childhood, where I held a role as an assistant coach beside my father, teaching martial arts. The opportunity is supported by 13 years of martial arts experience, where I restructured the self-defense programs that I have since taught to the younger generation. Teaching martial arts has allowed me to present my skills in confidence building and the development of my students' technicality, with my natural ability to convey ideas in a meaningful way. An informed practice of teaching will therefore build upon its structure within the past, where methods of education in Australia were heavily reflective of British religion and philosophy through to 1850. This will be followed by the rise of two major pedagogical strains, with the simultaneous or classroom method and the new education progressive method. Both saw respective advantages but required a significant transformation towards the 21st century, in which the social character of schools, the prior learning experiences of students, and the requirements of student assessment became measures for success. A balance between assertiveness and engagement is important in an educational context as it affirms the teacher's role as a leader, creating limits within the classroom. As a teacher, it is critical that there are boundaries in place with students to maintain aspects of professionalism. However, the interest and education of the students must also be nurtured with sufficient enthusiasm. Leadership is a quality that I have felt a consistent urge to strive for, and has been necessary to the development of my philosophy of teaching. My focal experience with leadership is through the martial arts lessons that I have both structured and taught in styles of kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Hapkido, and Taekwondo. The activities allowed me to engage with fields of education from an earlier age, in which I was able to navigate change and negotiate through difficulties with students who have experienced hardships firsthand. My philosophy of teaching is therefore justified through its foundation with academic literature, where simply accepting the state as it is and the system as it is, merely pushing it to perform its perceived function more vigorously, is a dangerous and lazy strategy. My view on teaching has changed positively as a result, as I have been able to grasp what it truly means to hold this responsibility. I believe that as educators, teachers need to be compassionate with their students in order to enjoy the process of exchanging knowledge. This allows a teacher to enjoy their work and to deliver the best possible information. My role as a future teacher requires that I subscribe to the demands of a mandated curriculum whilst incorporating values of respect and resilience throughout my lessons. This unit has taught me that educators should help their students emotionally throughout teaching with a positive attitude and enjoying their role. The dimensions of teaching allow educators to have a clear sense of their students' path. Cognitive education involves how a teacher relieves their message, as each student picks up information differently. Using equity, teachers can better understand their students' personal needs and improve their teaching style, where equity involves giving what is necessary to help individuals get equal opportunity. I have simultaneously found this crucial to the school setting, where my PE teachers became role models of mine, boosting my confidence in physical education and allowing me to develop academically further. Physical education puts information in the student's own body, where they can relay the information better within themselves. The readings have allowed me to see education through a new perspective, in which I began thinking about how I would manage a classroom. The readings, Happiness as an Aim of Life and Education, shifted social norms to showcase education as different to what was once perceived. Viewing education as a vocation rather than an occupation allows educators to find their true passion. Literature supports educators through furthering their own knowledge, allowing them to gain a new approach and motivation to teaching. This is due to education being different to teaching, where an educator is conscious of the responsibility of their students' futures. Teaching is an integral part of my life, where I found purpose and enjoyment in helping others learn and develop. This is why I decided to become a high school teacher, as I wanted my students to develop their minds and grow into adulthood. Teaching is a practice that is flexible and shifts alongside social change, allowing educators to maintain a role of leadership with their students. Thus, it is critical for educators to maintain an aware environment to promote growth and development for their students.